Hi, everyone. So, this reading is for anyone who feels like they're missing something in their life. You may have reached a lot of personal goals in life. You may have ticked a lot of boxes off as far as your goals, but you may still be feeling like something is missing. And when that happens, it can often be because we're missing some spiritual aspect of our lives. And when that happens, it's a good idea to really journey inward to see what perhaps we're hiding, or what our authentic self is, or knowing what our true potential is. So I'm going to do a 4-card spread with just those things. We're going to do what you're not seeing, what mask do you wear, your authentic self, and your true potential. I have a tarot deck and 2 oracle decks, and we will lay those 4 positions now. So this is what you're not seeing, what mask do you wear, your authentic self, and your true potential. So then I'm going to put 1 archetypal card on each of these 4 positions to get more energy. So sometimes if we just feel like something's missing, it can often be because we just need to journey inward and find our authentic self and figure out the mask that we wear and what we put towards the world that's not really in line with our true spiritual selves. And that can help to figure out why it feels like something is missing. So let's get into this. So let's start with, what are you not seeing? So there's the Empress, the Venom, and Confidence. So the Empress and Confidence are extremely powerful cards. The Empress is you being fully in your power. This is you in full control of your life. The Empress is one of the best cards that we could have drawn for this particular position. But it feels like what you're not seeing, because the Empress is full of confidence, it feels like what you're not seeing is that you are influenced by other people's perhaps opinions, by other people's judgments. You can be seduced pretty easily into submitting to what the people around you want. There's a fierceness surrounding you about, this is who I truly am, Empress full of confidence, but that you're not seeing that you're holding that back. You're keeping that small, and it might have to do with other people. But we'll find out as we go. But this Empress is really giving me this impression that you're not seeing just who you are. This is already who you are. So you've already probably gone through some major spiritual transformations. I get the sense with the Empress that you're someone who really takes care of your personal life, your business, your home, your children, your body, whatever applies to you. And you do it very confidently, but yet it still feels like you're not really seeing this potential of the Empress. The Empress is often shown in tarot cards as a pregnant woman, and that's because that's her potential. It hasn't become fully grown yet, that she hasn't birthed into the world yet what she's meant to birth into the world. But it almost feels like you don't even see that that's your potential. You have confidence, you know that you're good at the things you do, but what's left, what's missing, you're not seeing that you can birth something really fantastic and new into the world. So let's look at the mask you wear. So there's a 2 of Cups, the Shaman, and Energy. This feels to me like you are one half of something, whether this is a love relationship, a business partnership. This 2 of Cups is very strongly giving this energy that you show up with someone else, that you don't strike out and start your own business. You don't live independently. It's almost like you make sure you're part of another couple or part of another unit, or whatever this is for you. If it's family, if it's love, if it's business, if it's colleagues, friends, make this make sense for you. But it feels like with energy and the shaman, it feels like you present to the world that that's enough. You put on a happy face with energy. And with the shaman, it tells me that you put out this energy to the world that that's all you need, that you've learned everything you need to learn. You have this person in your life and you're complete. And you're putting that face out to the world that that's what's making you happy, that you feel like you're creating with this person and you don't need anything else. But you're not seeing this Empress energy, that you are full of so much potential on your own. And I'm not saying necessarily that you have to leave whoever this is in your life, because it looks like it's a pretty copacetic type of situation or relationship that you might be in here. But this is saying that you're not seeing what you can do on your own. I just saw 555 as I said that. This is saying that you are not seeing your own potential, what you can birth into the world on your own. And that may be why it feels like something's missing, because you're relying too much on what you create with this other person and not what you specifically uniquely can bring to the world. What are your skills? What are your talents? What are your potentials? And that's what we would like to find out here. But it does feel like you're hiding your true feelings here behind another person. You're pretending in some way, you're deluding yourself in some way that you need this other person to have everything you need. But that's what we said when we started this reading. Does it feel like something's missing? It's like, well, it feels like I have everything. So why do I feel like there's something missing? And I think this is about you journeying inward to find that potential. What are you pregnant with? What are you birthing into the world? Or what could you birth into the world? And that's what we're talking about. So let's look at your authentic self. So there's the Hermit. That's that journey inward. The Vision, wow. And Consciousness, holy smokes. Okay, so you are an extremely spiritual person. You might already know that because you're here watching this reading, but you really have a very strong inner wisdom, which is why you showed up as the Empress. You don't know that you're the Empress, but if you were to journey inward and do that deep spiritual soul searching, digging deep into your spirituality, the Hermit is here telling me that you are, I feel like it would come very easily for you, that you would almost, as soon as you sit down to meditate or however it is that you tap into your inspiration, it feels like you would sit down and it would just come so easy to you, that you would sit down to meditate and all of a sudden you would just be knowing things. The vision is here. Things would come to you with such clarity and your wisdom. These two cards have essentially the same messages. This is about inner wisdom, both of these cards, and they both came through. So I think that your authenticity is one of spirituality. It is one of inner wisdom. It's about tapping into your consciousness and understanding from that space what you can birth into the world, what your potential is, which we are going to get to. So this feels very strong. You feel like a very grounded person to me, that again, I feel like all of your chakras are in perfect alignment because you're getting this strong crown chakra energy, but also with these grays and blacks, it's a very grounded earth energy. And so I feel like you're in such perfect alignment that the second you tap into a meditation, you're going to start pulling in manifestations or start pulling in inspired ideas or start coming up with, oh yeah, this is what I can uniquely bring to the world. This is what I can birth into the world. I feel like those ideas are going to come to you really easily if you just were to sit down and try, because your authentic self is the Hermit, is the visionary, is consciousness. That's your authentic self, because that's what we asked. So I feel like you're probably an old soul, that you've been here before, because this is going to come so easily to you if you were to sit down and meditate. And maybe for those of you who already do that, this is resonating with you, that this is your reading, that you feel like, oh yeah, this is just confirmation for you that you can birth something into this world. So ask your inner Hermit what that is. So finally, let's see what your true potential is. So there's the Nine of Swords, the Storm, and Strength. Wow, this reading is incredible. So you'll have to let me know who this is for. You'll have to let me know how this was resonant for you. The Nine of Swords and the Storm are about chaos, stress, anxiety, but then we have strength. And we have two cards that are orange over here, which are cards of the sacral chakra, which is our creative energy. It's where we create from. And the Empress is the best creator in the deck. So again, this is about what you can create. And it feels like your true potential is creating strength or having the strength, digging deep because of how much wisdom you have. When things are chaotic, when things are stressful, the storm, see how there's like this line of probably lightning that's going through this? This makes me think that even during a ton of chaos, there is one thread or one thing that you can trace that actually makes sense, that's actually in line, that you can still see the truth even amongst all the chaos. And that's what this person is, in total chaos, but yet these swords are about seeing the truth. It's about knowing that there's a truth in there somehow, knowing that when everything is falling apart around you, that you can find the strength or create the strength with the orange colors coming through, that you are full of, it's almost like you're one of those people who, you know how they say there are people, if there's a fire, some people run towards the fire and some people run away from the fire, metaphorically or sometimes literally speaking. I feel like you're one of those people that would run towards the fire, that you would be the one trying to make sure everybody was okay, or trying to help put out the fire, or rescuing people, or calling 911, or you would be one of those people who would be very proactive if there was chaos around you. So I feel like this is your potential. So if this is ringing true for me, it feels like that's what you could be birthing into the world. It feels like that could be the thing that you're meant to do, your unique abilities, your ability to receive messages even in chaos, the ability to stay clear and strong with strength, even when things are falling apart around you. So you could be exactly that kind of person who understands what to do in a situation. So you could be some kind of an emergency worker or some kind of medical professional, or make it make sense for you. It could be so many things. You could even be writing books or screenplays about this type of thing, where people whose lives are falling apart, or just the human condition, and you're able to show people the strength in these situations. It almost doesn't matter, but it feels like that's what you're birthing into the world, or what your potential to birth into the world is. But yet you may still be hiding a bit behind a partnership, or behind your partner, or standing behind your partner, and not really showing up in this true, authentic way that it feels like you're meant to do. And that may be why it feels like you're missing something, because you're leaving so much on the table as far as your own potential, what you bring to the world, and this pregnancy, this thing you never birthed into the world, because you're busy hiding behind a partner. So will you please let me know how this was resonant for you? Consider subscribing to the channel if you like my vibe, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.